Y'all have had an interesting couple of days. You all encountered each other originally as you were waiting on a boat that could take you to Vogler, a city where there are a couple things going on. There's going to be a Kingfisher Festival. The festival itself involves a war reenactment, games. People travel far and wide to go, but also on a more somber note, there's a funeral being held for an Ispen Greenshield. You made your way down the river, provided by boat. The boat was driven by an older man who was, pretty decent, pretty reasonable guy. Nothing too special. But he did point out that sometimes death can be a beginning. And as he points that out, nothing seems too unordinary or interesting about that statement. But you will see that perhaps he wasn't too far from the truth. You encountered a stone statue. You ended up going through this strange trial presented to you by a cranky, shitty wizard in a cool temple dedicated to the gods. You have
That's a weird company name.
right. Y'all have discovered that each of you have your own caveats to your personalities and things that make you survivable people. For example, Aethelflid has the ability to craft things out of metal and various other materials. Jesse is extremely resourceful. Tarlin has the abilities of both life, death, magic. He possesses a great deal of insight and wisdom. And then Calixto, you are very much a survivalist. You're well trained. It's very clear in the ways of being stealthy, incognito, the ways of war, as you don your Solamnic armor. You've been through a lot of weird stuff. And in our last session, you found yourself pitted against 5 deeply formidable foes, the things of nightmare fuel. You found yourselves in quite a dangerous situation. In front of you were these 5 terrifying, scaly, monstrous, nightmarish things donning thick metal armor. And on that armor lay the insignia of a god whose name is rarely spoken, the goddess of ambition, greed, power, and most importantly and most terrifyingly, the goddess of dragons. Upon looking around, the party realized that Jesse was nowhere to be seen in this very pivotal moment full of danger. There was a set of red scales on one of these creatures, and then 4 sets of green scales on the remaining creatures. One thing of both note and concern is that once they saw that Calixto was an associate of the Knights of Solamnia, they pounced. So it does appear to the party that these wicked creatures wearing the armor of Takisas is now gunning for the Knights of Solamnia, who are both in some circles revered and in some circles despised, having been thought to have been one of the handful of people that could have stopped the cataclysm 300 years ago and did not. So these creatures pounce, and upon receiving significant wounds, Aethelflid, you were knocked back ever so slightly. You were the first one to take damage. All of you took note of this, and it was haunting. However, you did notice that these creatures were killable. And while they are terrifying and they are scary and quite equipped to murder and destroy, so are y'all. So the situation looked pretty grim, but the party was able to hold their own admirably. Now, Jesse, who was thought to have vanished, perhaps finding more adventure, perhaps leaving the party behind, Jesse revealed that they were just in the woods, having found a vantage point, and used their quick-witted, sharp skills to fling an arrow and slay one of those. One of those. We'll just call them Draconians. Why not? One of the Draconians. This was the Red Draconian, who immediately started bursting in this pool of green acid. One thing that definitely stood out about these creatures beyond the scales and the teeth was they had one final laugh to offer. Not to you, of course, but to their goddess. As in their final moments, as their heart slowly stops beating, they either release a gas that turns people into stone as they themselves turn into stone, or in the case of this Red Draconian, turned into a little bit of an acid bath. So, despite all of this, and how deeply concerning it was at first that Aethelflaed had taken such serious damage right away, the party held their own. And as the last creature exploded in this gray smoke, Tarlin's legs began to turn into stone up to his knees. It was advancing in a similar sense to what y'all had seen previously with the statue on the embankment, as if the stone itself was turning into a cocoon. Now, Jesse and Calixto feared for the worst and prepared to sever the legs of their new companion, which they were pretty sure would help. However, Tarlin remained extremely poised despite the obvious danger, and as if on cue, once discussing this stone and this massive problem, the magical stone began to recede down his legs as he returned to normal. Now, this was quite the spectacle to the party, naturally. Why did Tarlin seem so unconcerned and so poised? Where did his magical might stem from? Is there perhaps more to him than there appears to be? In this world where these things are very foreign and strange, and not as much is known about them as the ways of the sword or the blacksmith, there are a lot of things running through your mind about Tarlin at this point. And after some discussion about some of the events that had transpired, the fact that Takesis was emblazoned on these draconic sentinels on their armor, on their breastplates, the party eventually made their way down to Vogler, where they were greeted by two Kinder. A squeaky voice pipes up from a top-knotted Kinder who inquires about whether the party would like to see their leaf collection. And that brings us to tonight. As these two Kinders stand before you, they are standing on steps leading up to a gate that you know would lead to the inner city of Vogler. And they greet you very cordially. They're extremely excited to show off their leaf collection. And that brings us to tonight.
I'm so excited to see this leaf collection.
Do you say that in character?
Well, okay. Who's this excited leaf collector speaking to?
Well, they have not introduced themselves formally.
Well, like, who are they looking at?
Oh, the whole party.
Just addressing all
Y'all
of
are.
them?
Oh yeah. No, they want. So there are 8 total eyes between the 4 of you that can look at these leaves, and they want all of you to gaze, to admire, and critique this leaf collection.
It's very red. Yeah.
Oh well, some of them are red, some of them are green, some of them are brown, some of them are, kind of amber. Some of them are kind of golden. Some of them are red. Have I already said red? Some of them are green. Some of them are brown. Some of them are gold. But they're all beautiful.
But which one is the best?
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. And she pulls out the leaf that you see in this picture. It is actually a pretty nice looking leaf. You can tell it had been handled with care. And she extends this leaf so that you can all see it. This
it
is my
impressive?
favorite one. Let's see how impressive it is. It's a one. Okay. Now, at first, it looked really nice, and then as you kind of lean in, you look a little more closely. You can smell a strange odor, and you can tell there's definitely some sort of animal dropping on this leaf. It doesn't appear to phase this Kinder at all. And then you can kind of see that there are some holes in it that, at first blush you didn't see. It's not a pretty leaf, and it's kind of covered in shit. Thank you, Dice.
I think Stufflet is just lost for words. Like,
Harlan kind of looks closely at the leaf, and so this leaf is the best because it has such a storied tale. Correct?
Oh, they all have storied tales. I love leaves.
Really?
don't
So,
encourage them.
what's the storied tale of this leaf?
Well, so I found this, wait for it, by a bunch of grass. I know, right?
Oh,
It's crazy.
Bombs.
It's crazy. But it wasn't just any grass. It was perfectly cut grass.
This is about as dull as as a tarnished penny.
Oh my God, Tosh.
Oh, well, thank you.
Oh, was it a compliment? You're so
Well, a compliment to an ogre isn't a compliment to an elf. And sometimes when you say, "Hey, you sure are hairy," to a dwarf, sometimes if you say that to a normal person, then they will get mad if they're not a dwarf because sometimes they don't want to be hairy. So I take this as a compliment.
Ethelflaed is just dumbstruck, just staring at this creature like, no, there's no point. No, they're doing this. No.
Do the other Kinder in the vicinity, such as her companion or perhaps Jesse, do they find this leaf impressive?
Yeah. So there's one other Kinder. He is gazing excitedly at the party. He doesn't say anything, but he's very eager, and it looks like he's kind of bouncing up and down as if he has to either pee or he's very excited. But he is super into this leaf collection.
Oh shit! What about that squirrel?
The squirrel kind of just stares at the acorns that this Kinder is holding in his hand.
I see you've got acorns there.
Oh, do I? I've got acorns, all right, man. I love these things. I was waiting for you to ask. I just knew you were going to ask, and then you did ask. I knew it was going to happen. Yeah, I love these acorns. You can plant them, you can eat them, you can throw them.
Ethelflaed is just gonna walk past them. She wants nothing to do with them.
Jared, you know you're muted, right? Jared? Okay, that's fine.
I'll give him a sec. Okay.
We'll let Jared come back.
Harlan, looks at the acorns. If you take the caps off of those, they can be turned into flour. And then they can be cooked into all types of things.
I didn't know that. What kind of things?
Bread. Anything that you could add. Breads. I don't know if noodles exist in this world, but
Sure, noodles exist.
Yeah.
Noodles exist in every world.
Can you turn them into a meat pie?
You just hear
theoretically, yes, you could.
No, that's crazy. These are acorns, not meat. Oh, that's awesome.
Well, you turn the acorns into flour, and then that becomes the crust of the pie.
You
And then
turn the
you have-
acorns into flowers? No way.
Yes, let's go with that.
What is Jesse doing as his fellow Kinder are showing off their collections of things?
Wondering if anybody has ever actually eaten an acorn because they're bitter as shit, and that would be a terrible pie.
You don't
do you
make
say it out loud?
Yeah, I wonder if any of y'all have ever eaten a fucking acorn because they're
Like I
bitter as
said,
shit, and that would make a terrible
you
pie.
take the acorn and you mill it into flour, and then you use that to make like breads and noodles and stuff. Totally a thing you can do.
So Jesse,
Yes, sir.
this Kinder who's holding the acorns hands you one, and he says, "Try it. This one's perfect. I promise. You're gonna love this one."
Where are we, by the way? Like, can you guys? I apologize. Can you guys remind me our surroundings?
You are going up stone stairs that lead you to a gate, which will take you inside the city of Poplar.
Thank you, city gates. All right. Jesse takes the acorn. I presume it's a whole acorn. Is that true?
Yeah, it's a whole acorn.
Okay. Jesse takes the acorn. He cracks it open with his teeth. He peels the shell of it back to reveal this little tiny pumpkin-shaped nut inside of it, and hands it to anybody who wants it to eat it and see if it's not bitter as fucking shit.
I'll take a piece.
So, Calixto, do you eat it?
Yeah, nibble at it.
I need you to roll. No, I'm kidding. So, and then you die. So, as you kind of work through this, now you are no stranger to flavor, right? You were able to spruce up the rations that you had eaten at the temple after Tarlin's trial of sorcery or test of sorcery. You kind of lick it slowly. And as your tongue touches it, it has this really nice aroma. It smells fresh, and you touch your tongue to it, and it does taste quite pleasant.
It's not as bitter
Not
as I
exactly.
thought it would be. Maybe you should try
Certainly
it.
wouldn't. Sorry. I was looking up crowd music and things happened. Okay, so does anybody react? Jesse, do you have any kind of thoughts? Do you perhaps think that he's lying to make you look foolish? Or do you believe that he actually enjoyed this?
All I can say is I don't fuck with acorns, but I am curious. I guess yeah. Jesse just says, y'all got any purple leaves?
Purple. Oh no. And she looks at her companion and she is distraught. You can see the childlike wonder leave her eyes. There was a little glint of sunlight that is now replaced with fear and doubt and loathing. I don't have purple. But you know, and she kind of regains her vigor. That's something that I can find and add to my collection. This is an opportunity. I don't have purple now, but now I have a mission. And she gathers her resolve, and what was once fear and loathing is now this ambitious sort of pride. Yeah, I'm gonna find a purple leaf. Thank you. And then she points over at you, Jesse. What's your name? Jared. Okay.
Sorry about that. I was unmuting and the button wouldn't do anything.
Is it
Can I roll to see?
Is it possible to not mute?
I mean, I don't know. I got stuff going on.
Okay.
Can I roll to see, is she fine?
Roll a d10.
Let me see. Let me get there. Hold on. Dude, this shit sucks.
For a
They
second.
say roll 20 sucks, but what? Go ahead.
Well, for a second, Hunter and Eddie, did you have perhaps a flashback?
A flashback of when
Somebody in the party asking if somebody's fine. She's cute.
Oh god.
Oh God, yeah, callback.
Is she fine? We are Jared, Allison, and I are very much cut from the same cloth but very different shapes. Probably
Fair
the
enough.
best way to phrase that. Like one is a quilt and the other one's a sweater, but it's the same fucking pattern. Okay, so she is definitely she's cute. Like she's real cute. She has a great personality. I feel like that's actually a you call. But if you were into this personality, you'd be very into this personality. But she's cool. But she does ask your name, Jesse.
Yeah. My name's Jesse.
That was a good
Jesse
response.
Shindo.
Hi, Jesse. They both say in unison. She says, Jesse, thank you. Thank you. Oh, man. You know, you go through life and you just kind of wonder what it's all about sometimes. And you see babies get born and you see people die and you're like, what's it all about? And now I know. I know my purpose and I know my calling. It's to find a purple leaf. You know, the thrill of correctly identifying leaves can be enhanced by properly collecting leaves to make a tree leaf collection, and then you can mount them in an exhibit, or you can hang them on your wall. And then some properly prepared collections, they've been around forever. And I'm gonna find that purple leaf. And thank you, Jesse. Thank you.
Have you ever actually seen a baby being born?
Well, I've certainly heard about babies being born. I mean, I know how babies. I know a thing or two. Okay, Jesse, we don't have to go there, but I know babies are born. I haven't seen a baby be born, but I bet maybe some of you have seen a baby be born. And this little squirrel who's hanging out trying to eat these acorns had a baby and was a baby, and you know maybe this squirrel is trying to feed a baby. Who knows? Sometimes babies are born, and sometimes you see them, and sometimes you don't.
Acorns are babies.
What's that?
Just point out that acorns are babies. And then I point at the squirrel and I say, that thing eats acorns.
Oh. Oh, well. And then you can tell that they don't really know what to say. they're just kind of like, I don't think you know how babies work.
I don't think you know how acorns work. But, changing the subject a little bit, I do have a special pair of acorns that I could show you. And I produce
Ooh.
the 2 acorns from the temple. And I
Yeah.
lower my voice to a dramatic whisper. And I say, but these are very special. They come from a tree, maybe the biggest tree I've ever seen. From a temple, no less, full of all the gods. The good ones. I could
No
paraphrase
way.
that away.
Well, maybe maybe we don't have a whole lot. We're traveling, and traveling's expensive, and certainly we have a lot to do in the city, and there are a lot of vendors there, and we really want to, but and then are you trying to barter with them?
Yeah, so I'm actually going to ask this little acorn collector, and I'm going to say, I couldn't possibly trade these away. No, they're far too valuable. But,
Roll persuasion.
okay.
You can finish your sentence though.
But, out of curiosity, if you have anything special that might grow into something unusual someday, I could maybe be persuaded to part with one of these. That would be
Oh my.
24.
Roll a D100. What'd you get?
42. A 42.
Go ahead and begin our expeditions into the woods.
I guess that means I'll be.
Okay. So, out of this pouch, you can see there's some eager anticipation. And he's like, okay. I'll give you my coolest thing. I'll give you my coolest thing for the god acorns. I gotta have it. I gotta have it for my collection. This would be so cool, and I can't wait to show everyone. And you can see the female Kender is kind of like, shucks. Like both happy for their companion, but also a little disappointed that they're out of luck on this one. But the male Kender pulls out a vial, and in that vial is some sort of liquid. Looks to be red, and kind of resembles viscousness of Robitussin. I promise this is really cool. I got this from a wizard, and he told me that if I was ever in danger, or if my friends were in danger, then they could drink this, and it would help them out. And he was really cool. He loves Kender, and he said that our lives are just nothing but adventure, and it would come in handy someday. And I would trade you. I would trade you this.
Hearing him mention a wizard, I look at Tarlin and cock an eyebrow questioningly.
Yeah, could I actually follow up on that? I'm very curious about that. I'd be like, would you happen to remember that wizard's name?
Oh, I think he said his name was Fred.
All right, can I roll insight on these little fuckers? Are they fucking with us?
That's the first insight check. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I don't know about this Fred wizard.
I appreciate that.
You get the impression that Fred was just something that they made up on the fly, but you also get the impression that they're really trying to think hard. So you don't think it's like a deceptive kind of motive. You just think he forgot the wizard's name.
Did he happen to wear robes of a certain color?
Yes. Red robes.
Out of character. Completely out of character. Are they talking about Elminster?
Elminster didn't wear red robes.
Oh, I thought. I'm sorry. Who am I thinking of?
Hmm.
Uh,
I mean, the only like super famous red robe wizard I can think of was Raistlin, but they're not talking about Raistlin.
oh yeah, I'm sorry, Raceland. Yeah, but yeah, didn't he travel with Tasselhoff and everything?
He did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. This Kinder's just spacing. He was
My
really
brain.
excited about this potion he got, and totally.
Yeah,
got
he's
it.
probably just
Well,
random wizard that liked Kender. Okay.
these acorns are far too valuable to trade for just anything. I couldn't possibly trade both of them. But if you're game, I'll trade you one for this unusual,
Deal,
unnamed
deal,
substance.
deal. And he like hands you this viscous potion, and it's like, yes, hand it over, yes.
All right, I give him one of the acorns.
He examines it, almost as Aethelflaed examined the jewels earlier. Just like this curiosity and attention for obscure detail washes over the Kender, and he's like, yes, this is very cool, thank you. And he puts it in with the rest of his acorns, and he's so excited. And he's like, whoa, okay, well, we've got to go. We're going to go try to get an autograph from our favorite band, Untamed Siren. Are you guys going to go to the Kingfisher Festival?
Yes, we are. If you'd like to meet up to enjoy the festival together later, where could we find you?
Well, we kind of want to go to the Brass Crab. That sounds kind of cool. But then we also want to go to the Fishbowl. But then we also want to go see High Hill, and then we want to go see the Thornwall Keep, and then we want to go to the docks. And so we're going to be all over the place. But the festival is going to be held in a couple of days at the town square, and then they're going to have this really cool war reenactment that I'm super excited about. And you know what? Maybe we'll see you guys around.
Okay.
And then the girl is like, I'm gonna go look for a purple leaf. And you know what? I'm gonna find one.
These kids are killing.
Are we about to go to Burning Man? Is that what we're doing now?
D&D Burning Man? Yep. That's exactly.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, go get him, kid.
Yeah. And they scamper up the stairs. You at no point ask their names. But they have ran up the stairs, or they're running up the stairs.
They know Jesse's name.
That's all that matters.
Yeah, I will
Okay.
pass over this potion to Tarlin to see if maybe he can identify it later. Him or Aethelflaed.
Okay. Tarlin or Aethelflaed, would you like to kind of inspect it?
I would indeed. Rolled a 15 Arcana.
And then Tasha, you're pretty good at Arcana, right?
My Arcana is not. Yeah, my Arcana is good. Or Investigation.
Whichever you prefer.
Let's see. I'll just go with Arcana this time.
Okay.
Meh.
So Tarlin, you're examining this this potion-y sort of thing, and then Aethelflaed, to you what's the most remarkable is at first blush the vial itself, which looks very impressive. It almost seems to be of a dwarven craftsmanship or somebody who really knew what they were doing. So that's your first thought. The cork is made of a really strong and sturdy material. So you have the impression that whatever is in here was meant to be safely guarded. It is made of glass, but it's like kind of like a bong, you know, where it's like sturdy glass.
Tempered
So
glass.
it's thick, it's not flimsy. Charlin, do you uncork it?
I guess do I need to do that to figure out what it is?
I mean, it would help. This is literally just liquid.
Yeah.
Like smelling
do
it or
that.
something.
Yeah. Yeah. So as you uncork it and you take a whiff, this applies to both Aethelflaed and Tarlin. You can smell herbs, and it does smell almost minty, as if it were refreshing.
Mm, can I roll like history or something to see if it's like something ever used in teas or like foods or like
You certainly can.
ingredients for?
You can also roll nature, either of you, if you like, as well, to
Is there
see if you can understand the smell.
like an alchemist skill tree?
Right.
For slime stick around when all the other
Anybody know
17
what's
nature?
this recipe?
there are fewer months. Yeah, I heard you killed a monk.
Ooh, okay. Both of you rolled very well. You can, as you're kind of sniffing it, you both maybe look at each other, and you're both kind of wafting it, kind of like somebody who is like about to take a sip of really nice wine. And you detect this minty smell. You start to trace back to your knowledge of the wilderness, and you can you remember that this smell is associated with a sort of healing medicine of a holistic nature.
Okay.
It's potion healing.
Oh, dope. Cool.
Cool. Okay.
Okay.
Fun, fun.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. Nothing
Speaking
too
of,
crazy.
I actually look at Aethelflaed. She probably hasn't healed at all from our fight with those monster lizards,
Oh,
right?
good point.
I mean, no.
And I
I'll say
use
that after the fight, you guys took a little short rest, and you're all healed up now. But there might be some blood stains left, and
Ripped clothes.
maybe your wounds are like kind of sewed up
I-
a little bit. But yeah,
I
we'll
would
see.
like to have
I'd be
used
willing
my.
to donate this.
I was actually thinking about using my once per day cure wounds on Tosh for a bit of a RP moment.
Sure, by all means.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and get a cure wounds out there.
You want to say maybe after combat, perhaps?
Yeah. 1d8 plus 3. Yeah, I guess we can do say that was part of it. Oh wow, I got a pretty nice heal off of that.
Nice.
10.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically Tarlin would have come up to you after the fight and like been very concerned about your wounds, and yeah, just like he kind of murmurs a bit of a rote prayer that he had found in one of his books and seems to work, and give you, and yeah, it's the and you heal as if by magic.
You would have watched her like face obviously going from like pain but trying to hide it to like relax because it's gone. And, like color returned to her face and she was just like like I feel like I can breathe again. And yeah.
That was I get just kind of. I'm gonna do a. I don't. Funny enough, I'm not trained in medicine. I'm still gonna make a check to see how your character is doing. Hey, I rolled pretty good.
Hmm.
Roll 17 medicine afterwards, just kind of checking her over, making sure everything's like just. I want to make sure you aren't bleeding anymore. That those monsters were vicious.
Does everyone see you do this?
I do that very out in the open. Yeah, I've already been open about my powers so far, and I'm gonna be open about this one too.
So you've seen Tarlin at this point. Everyone in the party has seen Tarlin do these incredible feats. Some of them are of a utility nature. Some of them are um, just understanding a very mysterious world. And you're seeing healing that is incredibly unnatural.
By the
Does anyone have any
gods,
thoughts on them?
magic! What could this mean?
He,
Are you blessed?
I don't. I would not say blessed. This was something I had read about in my studies under my master. He was of the red robes, but I felt more of a calling to the white robe, as to the white robes, and I felt I. He kind of stops and thinks for a minute, and is like, the powers of life and death are neither good nor evil, but they can be used for the good.
What are you doing here, Grand Magus?
I'll catch you up later.
Here, go
Hmm. What is
Ethelfled doesn't understand magic, so to her, she's just like would probably be just accept it because she knows that she can't compute and maybe eventually try to find like a way to prove where the source of magic comes from or whatever.
I have a project that we may need to do later once I get animate dead and everything, and speak with dead.
Can't wait for that moment.
I am waiting for that. It's going to be fun later. I have plans.
So, lore question. When the gods
Mhm.
all left, did they take magic with them?
Nope.
So, when the gods left, there were 3 gods that still contribute, according to the lore that you've heard, to the ways of magic. Those are the gods represented by the 3 moons. You've certainly heard stories about magic. Perhaps you've believed them to be true or not. And maybe you've even seen somebody doing some parlor tricks from time to time, claiming to be wizards. You've never seen an outward display like this before, where somebody has truly cured or healed somebody. That is a type of magic that has been foreign for a long time, and that's well known. That when the gods left, they took healing with them, and the Age of Despair was built on the idea of this fragility of mortality, where before you could cut yourself and just say a little prayer and perhaps heal it. Now, and this was the thing that mortals had to really figure out, was how to go through life after losing their ability to heal. So it's almost akin to all the hospitals have shut down in the entire world and there are no doctors. Better not get sick, better not stab yourself, better not get into a dangerous encounter. So, as far as clergy of a healing and divine nature, they're unheard of. If you do hear of them, and there are people that make claims, you would probably assume that they're charlatans.
Hmm. So,
Or it'd be like miraculous and they become saints or something, or like, yeah.
Precisely.
Imagine,
so looking at Tarlin, I say, so this magic, this is how you staved off the petrification?
Seems Conjuring wouldn't harm any of the plants.
I see.
He kind of Tarlin kind of thinks for a moment. He's like, I'm not entirely sure. Because he's not he didn't really understand the nature of the petrification, but he was just he kind of felt like, if he was turned to stone, then that was his time. He's always been really close to death, not like, I guess, literally and figuratively. He's been studying it so much and studying the dead and everything, and studying the funerary rituals of various cultures over his whole life. So that's kind of, death to him is just another step in the cycle. If it was his
Would there
time, then it was his time.
would there be a part of Tarlin that would embrace death because answers would be questioned, or sorry, questions would be answered? Perhaps like, oh, let's see what's on the other side. Let's see what that's
Yeah,
like.
absolutely. And I mean, Yes, that's definitely a thing, and like the Kender hit to him, the Kender view of death is kind of is definitely the most optimistic and like basically the happiest because it's another adventure.
It's the next step on the journey. That's right. Do you share all that with the party as well? Give them a little perspective.
Yes.
Okay. So instead of like most people have that reaction of, oh shit, like my legs are stone. What does the future hold? You're like, if it happens, it happens. And then I just get to try something else and do something else. And it's almost like I've been eating at the same restaurant for my whole life, and now I get to go to a different one and try a different menu.
Oh,
Okay.
that metaphor.
Yeah, I don't know why people collect leaves, but I got some.
We got the really cool metasophical stuff going on here.
So if it had been Jesse or
Philosophical,
Aethelflaed,
metaphysical.
could your magic have saved us from turning to stone?
Is he asking her?
I mean, I'm
Um,
kind of asking Tarlin, but if you have something that could reverse petrification, or if you could like study that shit, or I don't know, that would be super rad.
She would have to study it first, yeah. See the properties and how it works so she can mimic it and control it or counteract it or whatever,
Yeah, we'll have to
Would
like.
part of that motivation stem from survivability or truly mastering material? Like, I will make this stone my bitch. Or none of the above.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a question. Yeah.
That was a question.
Maybe he's muted.
No, I was asking you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't even. What was the question? My bad.
No, it's okay. You're the blacksmith. So basically, I guess sort of out of character and sort of in character, the discussion of whether or not you, who are a blacksmith and a master of materials, could discern a way to assist with this petrification situation.
I think the best she could do, again, just from like an intellectual, introspective way, is just like maybe figure out what the elements and the properties are of the potion. Kind of like maybe again the materials used to make it. But I don't know if she would necessarily know stuff about like medicine or like brewing potions,
Fair.
Okay.
Like yeah, like an alchemist would, but she's more of again, like she could tell you all the shit about rocks and like maybe wood and like how materials are used for stuff. Like, so she could probably tell you the materials, but again, not necessarily like, like, oh, if this is iron and like this is what happens when you introduce this, or like oxygen, like she could go around the specifics of that. Like, yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but
So where Tarlin
kind
would try to understand the magical elements and aspects of this petrification, you would say, well, I've worked with stone, I understand stone, and maybe try to get to the bottom of what this substance is to perhaps
yeah, like identify
yeah.
what kind of stone the petrification is. But
Gotcha.
yeah,
I like that.
so she just kind of shrugs and is like, "Dunno, could try, I suppose. I do work with a lot of rocks and irons and ores."
Yes, if we bump into those strange beasts again, maybe we can gather you a sample. Or perhaps some acid for your acid cannon thing. I don't know what the flavor of that was. You like blasted a stream of acid?
Every little bit will help, I suppose.
That certainly sounds like the refinement blacksmith tree. Okay, so I feel like Jesse's not around, but I would like to inquire if Jesse has any thoughts about this moment, where this healing has taken place, and Y'all are discussing this petrification and the dangers that it can pose, and perhaps try to find a practical solution to it in the future. Jesse, do you have any thoughts about what's going on right now?
I am outwardly unconcerned, um, and
Okay.
perhaps a little preoccupied. I was just going to ask, is there a word that you use for humans who are especially dull?
I can barely hear you. You said humans that are especially dull.
Nailed it.
Okay. So when you say dull, you mean stupid.
Yeah, like dull, dull, dull.
I think the same vocabulary. That's
A
dumb.
dullard.
Oh, there you go.
I was just thinking those. Yeah, I don't know if you can say this on YouTube. I think that the people that we met at the gate might have been retarded.
I can barely hear you. What'd you say?
I think that might just be the way of the Kinder. But I'll be honest, I have very little familiarity with your people.
Point taken.
All right. Well, fair enough. So,
I got nothing.
okay. No sweat.
I haven't got the healing potion. Good deal. No one needs it. We'll need it later.
Perfect. Okay. So, you've seen this feat of magic. You've discussed the practical ways of perhaps mitigating the risk of this particular malady. Is there anything else y'all would like to do right now?
Uh, yeah, I guess we're good.
Yeah,
Good.
Ethelfled would have been at the top of the stairs waiting for y'all because she can't handle those kinder. That conversation was too much.
Is it obvious? Do you look like a worn out babysitter right now?
Oh yeah, you could tell just from her face. She was like, no, like she wasn't even gonna pretend to try with them because she could not. I don't know. Yeah, you could tell with her.
Does anyone have any thoughts about Calixto's interaction, where he certainly had something that he could generously offer this Kinder of very little value? There was no deception in the things that he said. It was all true. But he certainly used that as an opportunity to take this item from the Kinder, both to the benefit of the party and to the detriment of the Kinder.
Jokes on them, I guess. I don't know. She wasn't there for it.
Are you like, do you see that and you're like, yeah, get him?
I don't think she was there for that, so she probably wouldn't have seen it.
At that point, you were all together. I mean, maybe, I mean, we could certainly say that you weren't.
She had walked ahead, I think, at the start of that conversation.
Yeah,
She was like, I don't want to have
yeah. I
anything to do
intended
with
her
these
for.
fucking Kinder.
Yeah.
Yeah, you certainly could have stayed within earshot if you had chosen to, but you didn't have to. And then Tarlin, do you have any thoughts about that?
No, I'll be honest. I had a lot of trouble hearing, so I couldn't.
Oh, is there anything I can repeat for you? What I just said. So you watched Calixto have this interaction with this Kinder,
Yeah.
where he certainly had something this Kinder desperately wanted. Easily could have just handed it to him and said, "Here, I have this other one."
Yeah.
You know, there's not a ton of value in these acorns, at least in your mind. Now, it's conceivable Calixto could think that they are perhaps divinely blessed. He did find him at a tree hanging out in a temple of the gods. But he's certainly used his power of persuasion to gain something from that interaction. The Kinder lost something out of that interaction, but it certainly benefited the entire group.
Well, the thing about Kinder is they don't money isn't really the thing for them. If they find value in the things that, like the things that they find, like the stories that they gather and everything. So it's he doesn't.
It's a
While
fair
yes,
trade.
he did trick the Kender to himself felt like he gained something wondrous.
I certainly wouldn't say he tricked the Kinder. Everything he said was
Yeah,
true. He did
it's
bargain with the
true.
Kinder.
He did bargain with
So
the Kender,
he said,
and
I have something you want. You
yeah,
have this thing that maybe is worth something. And he bartered on kind of a whim, really. The
yeah,
Kinder could have been.
he actually didn't say anything. I apologize. He didn't say anything deceptive. He just said where we got it from, and that is true. So he did not embellish anything to the Kender. Kender found value in the story of this acorn, so he really wanted it, and that was a fair trade
All right.
to Tarlin. Having known knowing the Kender and everything through it and what he's experienced. Yeah,
Okay. Awesome. Well,
Racist.
what's that?
what's that?
Racist. If you think that's what white people are like, taken.
What was your question?
My question.
Yes. What was your question? You had a question, right?
It wasn't a question.
Do you call? Well, I mean, this is internal monologue, right? So he's thinking these things. He's not necessarily saying them out loud.
Hmm. Okay. Fair enough.
But duly noted.
I
Okay.
will say
Well,
I
that
wasn't necessarily intending to take advantage of the Kinder. I actually will probably hang on to this other acorn until like the end of the game, the end of the fucking campaign.
I thought that was perfect.
No,
But I
honestly,
just wanted to see what the observations were, and everyone's on the same page. Everyone thought that was, and you didn't lie, which just
yeah,
out of character as a DM, I thought was very cool.
Oh
which is
fuck.
why he rolled persuasion instead of deception. And I'm
Right,
Correct.
like,
right.
yeah.
I've listened to the Ad Proficiency podcast. All right. Well, you guys walk up the steps. You are greeted by a guard who looks annoyed, perhaps because these kinder just ran past him. But you don't see the kinder that you've just encountered. You do see a guard, and he is just waving people through this gate. He's like, "Oi, just mind your business. Enjoy the festival."
He's fucking drinking on the job.
I think he's holding a letter or a roster or something. But yeah, it does kind of look like a beer. Let's just say it's a beer.
It looks like a beer. Yeah, I don't know.
It does look like a beer. It's
These
sudsy. Yeah.
guys,
He's just like, okay, we'll roll with that. We'll yes and it. So he is a guard at the gate. These kinders run by him. He looks a little annoyed, and you can see that there's a bit of dullness in his eyes. He started early. And he kind of ushers you towards the inside of the city. As he does, he spills a little bit of beer. He goes, "Oi, mind your business. Have fun at the festival."
so I remembered something. I have the cart with the knights with us. We
Oh,
have the cart.
true. True.
I actually approached this guard and very solemn. Sir, we found these knights dead on the road. They'd been attacked by several monsters. I've done my best to preserve their bodies for proper burial, but we wanted to return them to town so that they could be properly laid to rest.
Boy. And he takes a sip of this beer. Do you let him inspect the carriage? I guess it's
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I got I
it's
got
not a
nothing to
full
hide.
carriage, but you're kind of lifting up this wooden structure that Aelflid was able to kind of restore and make more useful. You would put the bodies on there with the coins on their eyes and covered them up. So as you approach this guard who's clearly drinking on the job, obviously, he initially is just kind of like, "Oi, whatever," and then he gets very solemn as you mention this, and he kind of lifts the cover. Oi, bloody hell! You sure you didn't do this?
We're quite positive, so I would not. He kind of smiles a little bit. It's like, why would I turn myself in and bring the evidence to you, sir?
Well, we've been suspicious, isn't it? You do have dead bodies. They taught me back in guard school that if you ever see a dead body next to somebody, maybe they killed that body.
You saying he should have just left it in the road then with all those friggin' monsters? Did they
Boy, I
save
didn't
him?
say that
What am I
exactly.
supposed to do? We did the right thing. Why are you giving him trouble for doing the right thing?
You're right. Beckland's gonna want to know about this, and the mayor as well. Yes, go ahead, go on, and
I
just
do.
leave
I also.
these.
Sorry. Go ahead. Go
No,
ahead.
no, you're okay. It says you can just leave these with me. I'll do the right thing too. I'll see to them.
I
Thanks,
point
mate.
out our knight friend said our friend here also wears an armor of the knights that were slain here. While he did not travel with these, we would not. I doubt he would let us travel with him if we had caused their demise.
On my honor, this man speaks true. 'Twas not he who killed these men.
You better tell Becklin about this. She's always rambling on about defenses and danger, and well, she did tell us to be extra careful during the festival, and well, there are all these rumors floating around too. You said that these were monsters?
Tarlin nods slowly, large with wings and scales, some red, some green.
Scales? Like on the body or armor?
Oh, yes, everywhere, all the body. They wore plate that. Oh yeah, so we know exactly what that symbol was, right? We rolled and talked about that.
Yeah, it was the emblem
Yeah,
of Takesis.
yeah. I just wanted to make sure that was shared with everybody. And he says
It's
they
canon.
will. Okay, yeah. Hope.
Hey guys,
Yes.
are we doing this for a bit? I've got to take my coworker to get some food, but we can do a quick takeoff. You guys are going to be on for a bit.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll just say that you run past the guard while all this is going on, and
Oh,
you do your
100.
thing.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Well, enjoy your dinner. Happy birthday, and
Happy
come on
birthday,
back when
buddy.
you're ready, and maybe we'll be
Uh,
doing this, maybe not. We'll see what
guys,
happens.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. See you on a few.
Okay. Well, that's on flavor. All right. So
Ender wanders off, and we're just like, oh yeah, that's fair.
it's half the reason I told him he had to play Kender. I was like, first off, this is just who you are as a human being in essence. You are kind of a Kender. But also, if he runs off, then it's explainable. So, sorry. Anyways, so yeah, you are having this interaction with the guard. He mentions these rumors that he has also heard. He mentions somebody named Lord Becklin, and says that they would want to know about this. And you're welcome to continue this interaction if you'd like, but just to reset the scene.
Lord.
He was asking about the monsters and like if we knew what they were and describing scales and
I think Tarlin's mentioned he studied them before. I think you said something about that during the last session. I'm not sure if that was in character or out of character.
Oh, no, I hadn't said anything about the monsters. I think I was talking about something. One
Oh, okay, never mind. I
like that.
don't say that then.
Okay, sorry.
What are these rumors going about now?
But yeah, let's go speak to this lord and inform them of what we've encountered.
Boy, just between us, there are these mercenaries camped outside the city. I don't know if I trust them, but I certainly haven't seen any scales on them. Did you all hear about? And he kind of double checks to make sure that none of the Kinder are around. Did you hear about Kindermore?
No, what about Kingdom War?
Well, nobody knows exactly what happened, but I mean, I didn't think it was true. Maybe I still don't. And he takes a sip of his beer. But Kindermore, something happened over there. Nobody knows what. But I've heard stories.
What kind of stories? I say, thinking about Parsalion's odd line of questioning for Jesse.
Well, I heard that a lot of people died, and I heard that there may have been dragons, but I mean, there's no way, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
You never know, mate. You just never know.
Well, armies in the east are required recruiting people, and they're promising wealth and glory not seen since the cataclysm. Far, far to the east. I, I think we'll be okay, though, right?
Sure, mate.
You're the
We'll just
guard.
Well, yes. I mean, when I was in guard school, I learned an awful lot about, you know, how to fight and
you
how
just
to.
stab with that end, eh?
I don't. I don't know if I can handle things with scales. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can do that.
Things with scales still have hearts, so you can still kill them. Enjoy your food and go back to your standing and leave the rest to us.
Say, did you find these bodies, or did you see the things and kill them? You saw them, right, with your own eyes, and then you killed them.
Yeah, that's
Uh,
what happened, yep.
we did encounter them after they had already attacked these knights, and yes, we did. We were forced to destroy them to recover the bodies to return them for proper burial.
Boy, all right. Well, we'll leave these bodies with me, and thank you for your service. And he looks over at Calixto. You know, I've always heard that the Knights of Solomnia weren't the most noble, but I, I think I'm starting to believe that. Well, maybe they're all we have. Maybe you are all we have. Thank you.
Yes, perhaps it's time for a change among the knighthood. Be careful out there.
Oh, you as well. And he kind of motions over to somebody. Oi! Quit being lazy over there. Quit oafing. Come on over here and help me. And then another guard assists with collecting the bodies.
Nice.
All right. Oh,
One thing off the
poor
list.
dudes. They were drinking, and then now they've got like tough stuff to do.
Oh no, they have to do
Yeah.
their job.
Yeah, at least
Yeah,
we
I
don't have
know.
to haul around this cart of bodies anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
You
I guess.
hear the guard that approaches. Oh, I'm having a good time. You're ruining my day with these boys. And then
That's
free to do
exactly
whatever you
it.
like.
And now Tarlin is sad. Now, when he was asking about everybody being okay, yeah, just that image of all the dead and that death and that skeleton knight just pops in his head, and he's just like far away. Look for a second.
Who did he want us to go talk to?
The Lord.
Lord Becklin.
Becklin. Okay.
It does occur to you as you're like, Becklin, that the letter addressing the funeral of Ispen Greenshield was signed by a Lord Becklin Uthmatar.
Oof.
And they're the head of Thornton, or what's this place called again?
Vogler. 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 Okay. Do you all venture inside the city?
Yes.
Yo.
Yeah.
Let's go in.
Yes, absolutely.
So you're walking around the city. You've just entered the gates. You see a lot of people hanging out. There are some merchants. There are some vagabonds. There are panhandlers. You do see somebody with a dog and a lute that is walking into the distance. The fishing village of Vogler clings to a spit of land reaching into the Vanguard River. The wooded cliffs overlook the community, and the only path from the north descends from the ivy-covered remnants of crumbling stone keep, which you had passed on the way in. The village's modest wooden buildings cluster around a quaint central circle along the riverbank. So you have arrived in the city. As you do, you are approached by, once I hand it out to the players. There we go. Does everyone see that?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
A youngish dude who's probably in his late teens. He has medium-sized brown hair. He is wearing a sword, well dressed, but he's certainly not in armor like a normal knight would be. But he is wearing this really badass looking sword. Kind of doesn't fit him necessarily, you would think. But he does appear to at least, I don't know, have some semblance of understanding in the ways of a weapon. You know, he's wearing it well, as opposed to some people who maybe try to brandish their weapon. He's holding it to his side firmly, and he runs up, seeing a knight of Solamnia enter the city. Hey, how's it going, man?
Am I a knight or am I a squire? Like, do people recognize me as a knight? I
You're
guess
certainly
I'm wearing
wearing
the armor, right?
you're wearing the armor of a knight of Solamnia.
True. Okay.
Okay. Because then I might because my background is also Knight of Solamnia, but I wanted to go the route of like they kind of like kicked me out.
Sure. Yeah, there's certainly a mechanic aspect, which is what you're describing, and then Calixto is proudly wearing his Solamnic armor. So it's something that people would recognize very immediately. It's almost like a cop's badge or something, just like that symbol of authority. It's like, hey, oh man, a knight of Solamnia. You're just like Lord Becklin. I want to say thank you for everything you do. I love the knighthood. I can't wait to be a knight.
We could use that sort of ambition. It would be good
Yeah.
to have you among our ranks.
Thanks, man. And then he kind of looks around to everyone else. Oh, wow. I want to ask you so many questions. You don't look like you're from around here. I've never seen you before. I've lived here my whole life. Tell me, what's it like out there?
Right now it's dangerous. But tell me,
Dangerous.
if you've lived here your whole life, perhaps you could help me. I have a question for you. Uh, I'm looking
Anything.
for my friend Ispin Greenshield. Might you know where I could find him?
Looking for. Oh, you must have come here for the Kingfisher Festival. I hate to tell you this. And he approaches you very solemnly, and he clasps his hands. I hate to tell you this, but Lord Greenshield has passed. He's gone to the other side.
Ah, yes. So I've heard.
Oh, thank God. Oh, okay. It's always tough, and poor Becklin, oh, well, man, she probably knew him better than anyone, and he knew her better than anyone. They were practically family, and yeah, I hate that it's happening at such a fun time. We're all excited about the Kingfisher Festival, and yeah, Becklin's been weird lately. I don't know why she's acting this way, but I guess I do. But it's weird for me because she's my master. She's my protege. Is that protege? She's my mentor. She teaches me everything, and she's so strong. Like when you watch your hero look so sad, it's just really heartbreaking. And yeah, I'm just really sorry for your loss. We all loved him. He was such a sweet man. We all have our little stories, and yeah, I'm glad you're here.
Well, we were actually looking to meet with Lord or Lady Becklin. Uh, where might we find her?
She said she was going. Oh, let me think. I mean, she's got a busy day, but pretty sure she was going to the Brass Crab.
That's where those, I almost said halflings, those kinder went off to.
Well, I don't blame them. Everyone's talking about it. Untamed Siren is there.
Yes, I've heard they're all the rage. Okay.
Oh, yeah. All the rage. Yeah, I mean, they are the coolest thing. The only thing that's cooler than Untamed Siren is having adventures out there and, seeing the world and doing things and, doing whatever you've been doing. You're in the knighthood. I bet you're doing all kinds of cool stuff. And the only thing cooler than Untamed Siren is doing that. Just living. I can't wait.
Yep. Put your time in and do a lot of push-ups. You'll be just fine.
Balance. Oh man, you know what? You're right. Do you have any other advice for me? What else can I do? I mean, push-ups, cool, check. But what else can I do?
Can I spend 10 minutes giving an inspiring speech about
Well, you have to give me at least an excerpt.
everything this guy needs to fucking do to become the greatest knight?
By all means. Do you have words of inspiration or words of wisdom?
Oh, jeez. Guys, do y'all have
Just
any words of wisdom for this knight
I have
nerd?
heroism. I can cast heroism on him.
nice. Okay. So you see this kid who's very wholesome, very earnest. He's proclaimed himself as the the student, the pupil of this Becklin that you've heard so much about. He's wearing this sword. He's so eager. He's so happy. And you both, I guess you resonate with this to some degree. You want to help him out. So you inspire him with these incredible words. You tell him all the things that he wants to hear, and you cast heroism on him. Is there any way you want to describe that moment, or do we just want to say that it happened?
I guess just like watching him talking, because I imagine he's probably like mostly looking at Calixto, but Ethelfled will just move a arm forward and like kind of just pat him on the shoulder and be like, it's all right, kid. Bet you'll do great. And just pat him on the shoulder.
And that's enough for heroism.
Yeah. I just have to touch. I mean, it's a concentration spell, but like I have to touch them, I guess. I don't know.
So as you do that, he's not entirely certain where it's coming from. He is high on life. He's heard of Untamed Siren is at the Brass Crab. He's doing the Kingfisher Festival, which he does every year, but this year just has different magic in the air. And he's met a Knight of Solamnia, just like Lord Becklin. And you don't necessarily with your words truly stoke this flame within him, but you do use your heroism subtly, and he just kind of lights up, and you can see his muscles kind of like tighten up a little bit, and he's like, Calixto, have you introduced yourself as Calixto Carlisle?
No, but I will.
Sir, please tell me your name.
And I sort of straighten up a little bit and I say, you may call me Calixto Carlisle.
And you, and he looks at you, Ethelfled, what is your name?
Ethelfled Redstone. Greatest blacksmith around.
Oh, cool. I love smithing, and I will love battle, and a battlesmith. And what about you, man? And he points to you, Tarlin. Who are you?
Tarlin's just kind of been watching something. My name is Tarlin Senazechi. I am I'm a scholar. He kind of just trails off after that.
A scholar of war? Like, do you learn strategy?
I'm a scholar of funerary rites.
You can tell this doesn't please him. And he's kind of like, oh, but I mean, he's not going to let you know that, not intentionally.
Yeah.
He's a good kid. And he's like, that sounds awesome, man. I'm sure that's really cool. I'm Darrett Highwater. I am the student of Lord Becklin. And you know what I'm going to go do? I'm going to just go do push-ups. I could go see Untamed Siren and try to get their autograph, but you, and he points to you, Calixto, I'm going to go do push-ups because of you. And it's going to be great. And he sprints away.
Oh, shit.
He's going to miss like a great band just to go do push-ups. It's funny.
Before he, am I able to say anything before he sprints off, or does he just fucking gun it out of there?
Of course.
Okay, I'm gonna tell him, do your push-ups, Highwater, and when the day comes that you're ready to wear this insignia, seek me out, and we will do great things together in the name of the knighthood.
And because of the heroism that Ethelfled has used to enhance him, he stops on a dime and he turns back and he points to you, Calixto, and he says, "Yeah, And then he just runs away. But you can tell that your words had a huge effect on him. Everyone's words did, except for Tarlin's. He's kind of like,
Yeah.
cool,
Oh, that's
bro.
depressing. He's like, cool, that's depressing.
All right, so that was Darrett Highwater. Would you guys like to further your exploration to the city?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, let's go.
Okay.
Matt, quick note. I just realized I didn't take all of my first level spells at first. I have 4 more first level spells to pick, so I'm gonna do that and let you know what they are later.
Within the rules, do your things. If you're supposed to have more stuff, grab more stuff. No
Make
sweat.
more buttons.
So we'll say that as you are exploring the city, you have maybe asked a couple of people where the happenings are and where the things are. So this is a little map of Vogler. You approached from the north up here by the river gate, and you have learned where the things are. The fishbowl is a bar, kind of like the Brass Crab. The Brass Crab is a modest single-story inn on the village wharf, and its exterior resembles its namesake. So you understand that there are basically 2 bars in this town, the Fishbowl and the Brass Crab. Now, after a long day on the river, many of Vogler's fishers gather at the Fishbowl to tell their tales, quench their thirst, and indulge in baked pies. Now, there's also a market that you could go to, and because it is the Kingfisher Festival, there are a lot of little pop-ups. So if you were interested in maybe checking that out, you certainly could. You've also caught wind, just as the guard at the city gate had informed you of, that there is a mercenary camp that's hanging out to the west of Vogler. And then there are the docks. There's also the city, it's the town hall, which is basically, I mean, it's not a hall, but it's basically just in the middle of the city, kind of like it's the town square. So it's just kind of chilling in the center. It's the village circle. It's chilling in the center. That's also where they're kind of assembling some stuff for the Kingfisher Festival. And that is basically what you've caught wind of. As you can see in the northwest. I live in the west, I should know. The northwest, there's Thornwall Keep. You can see in front of it is what looks to be a catapult, but slightly modified. But from the distance, it certainly looks like a strange little catapulty contraption. And then the market is going to be down south by the Warfinger's office. So, handful of things you guys could do in this town. That map certainly helps. And the West Side House. The West Side House is the mayor's house. And then you do also catch wind of the name of the mayor, which is Raven. Mayor Raven.
Raven. Well, what would y'all like to do?
That might be a good spot for a quick little break, actually.
Yeah, I
While you
agree.
guys think about what you want to do. But
But,
I'll be
hey-
right back. Let's take 5. Mic check.
Check.
Right.
Check.
Check.
Sick. Okay. So you have met this town guard who has taken these corpses from you and has thanked you for your service. You have met Darrett Highwater, and you guys have inspired him beyond belief. And he is now going to go do push-ups instead of meeting Untamed Siren, who is at the Brass Crab. You have heard Becklin Uthmatar's name be thrown around a few times. Becklin certainly wrote the letter informing you of Ispin Greenshield's demise. And she is presumed to be at the Brass Crab. You have the Village Circle, the Fishbowl, which is like a restaurant slash bar. The docks, there's a market. And then the mayor does have a house that's located in town. You've seen Thornwall Keep, and it has this weird little catapulty thing. It does occur to you that you might want to go ahead and book your room for the night, but not night. So if you wanted to explore and look around, you certainly could. There's also, at the very southern tip, an old bridge that you've heard of that predates the Cataclysm. You haven't necessarily inspected it or looked at it, but it's around. So what would you guys like to do?
I would like to go talk to, I guess, Lord Becklin about the dead knights, and I guess we can go see that band.
Yeah, we
Same
need to
time.
at least get a room at
Yeah,
the
that's true. Let's
inn,
go get a
at the
room
very
first.
least.
Do you think this smithy would be open right now? Like we just swung
I
on
do.
by on the way to the crab?
I bet you could find your way to a blacksmith. Would you like to do that?
To the room check-in, and yeah, like on the way to the concert, just make a little detour and swing by the smithy.
Sure. So we'll say that Tarlin and Calixto head to the Brass Crab, and Tosh, you're saying that Aethelflaed will be doing this before going to the Brass Crab?
Correct.
Okay. So you do approach a blacksmith that you've heard about in town. As you walk up to his shop, you can hear the sounds of anvils. And he is outside of his shop just hammering away at this sword that's in front of him.
Ripped AF.
Yeah, I'll watch him work for a little bit, listen to his taps and like when he swings and how hard he hits, like just assess. Try to like hear his rhythm. This
And
is hammer.
as you hear him hammering away, it is remarkably on beat. There's a rhythm to these taps, almost as if he were a drummer of sorts. Every swing sounds as even as the last. And just from your blacksmith instincts, you can tell that this guy probably knows his stuff.
I'm just gonna slowly approach because I don't want to interrupt him, so I will just wait until he is done.
Okay. He has the hammer. You've watched him for maybe about 10, 15 minutes, just pounding away at this sword. His anvil is quite hot, as is the weapon in front of him. And then he kind of looks up and notices you as he wipes the sweat from his brow.
Give him a little wave, like a friendly wave.
He takes his anvil and he salutes to you.
Got a quick question for you.
All right.
Ethelflaed will make her way over and pull out the hammer that other dwarf gave her. Hold on, what's his name? What is his name?
That was Dugan Redbeard.
Dugan, sorry, yeah. She's just gonna pull out the hammer that Dugan gave her and kind of show it to him and be like, "Can you tell me anything about this?"
Well, it's a hammer.
Oh, fuck off! I know it's a hammer.
Well, I don't know what you want me to tell you. I've told you what it is. I don't really know what else you want from me.
Well, I guess that answered that question. I like your work though.
Yeah. Well, it ain't free.
She just is, kind of just staring at him, and she's like, right, not really trying to buy anything from you, but was coming to look to see what you got around here. I'm a blacksmith myself.
Oh, yeah, I bet you are.
Yes, I am, actually. You see this thing? And she's going to point to... Decided to call it Faraday, but...
Your weapon? The one
Yeah.
that has been enhanced thanks to the knowledge of Dugan Redband? Or Dugan Redband?
Yeah. Yeah, my steel defender, my companion. I made that.
Oh, you're full defender. Okay.
Yeah.
So he definitely like studies this little creature made of metal. Boy. What's that thing?
Call it steel defender.
Oh.
It's automaton of sorts.
Does he do backflips?
Don't know.
You do-
At the point, I'll just look at Faraday
do
and
you
be
do
like,
backflips?
Faraday, can you do a backflip?
Do it roll for
Um,
it.
Yeah, I guess.
We'll say you can use your own stats because I don't know if you have all the stats filled out for this Steel Defender.
I have his stuff, but it's not filled in. My phone's charging. Would you
I can-
acrobatics?
Yes.
His dex is 12 though, so
His dex is 12.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean that's a 9. We'll say he is successful. And
Suppose it can.
oi, you did this. You made a little thing that can do backflips.
And it can fight and lift things and all sorts of things.
He puts his hammer down on the anvil. Why even bother? What I've just seen, I can't do that. I make these swords all day and they're damn good, but I can't make that.
No, mate, no, don't take it personally like that. Look at it. Look at this work.
It's pretty
just
good, right?
Yeah, like,
It's
can't
not,
even
it's not that
imagine.
bad, but I tell you what, my swords can't do fucking backflips.
Yeah, but they're swords, and that's supposed to do backflips. They're supposed to stab people.
It's for
and
killing.
stab
It's for
people.
killing things, and
Yeah. You want to make robots?
thing with this.
He's not looking. I cast Unseen Servant kind of off to the side. And he said, friend, and while he does that, he's like, friend, your swords can't do backflips. I beg to differ. And he kind of makes his Unseen Servant grab a sword and flip it upside down. Flip it over.
Sure. Oi, I must have been drinking today. Did you make it do this? Because I sure didn't. This is just a sword.
Don't deal in magic. I deal in machines, and in minerals and ores, and that must be you, man.
Tarlin kind of chuckles a bit and says, "Apologies, friend. I was having a bit of fun," and kind of directs his servant to put the sword back, and just goes back, and then he dismisses it.
Okay. So are you all there? Let's address that. Are you all there? Is Calixto, Tarlin, and Aethelflid at the blacksmith?
No.
So
no.
was it?
I
Okay.
definitely
Wait, no.
went.
Oh, I thought we all stopped.
I thought you guys were going to the brass crab.
Yeah,
That's true.
I
Yeah,
definitely went to
my
the
bad.
brass grab.
Okay.
Sorry.
I like the idea, though. I like the idea.
That'd be fun.
If I could do that, I would, but I can't. Or I guess I could mage hand it, but you can see that.
Yeah.
I think you can
Well,
get Unseen Servant too on your spell list, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I can also get a homunculus eventually.
Do it.
oh,
Wait, I have an amethyst that's probably worth the value of it. So yeah, I think I can.
will you show me how to make one of those? One of those things.
You know, mate, I could give you a few drawings or two. So I think instead of going to the concert, Ethelfled is probably just gonna get caught up talking to this guy about
War.
about like building that and building Faraday and like mechanics and I don't know, just smithing techniques.
You've made a trade friend.
Gonna bond with
Okay.
this guy.
So as you are doing that, we're gonna have if I can find the map. There we go. So Tarlin and Calixto. Jesse has fled. Aethelfled has
Oh, I've
also
been here the whole time.
well played, sir. Are you engaged? Are you active? I thought you were
I
grabbing dinner.
mean, you tell me. I've been here.
Okay. I thought you were grabbing dinner.
I
That was
can
the
be.
last word I
I can
got.
be at the crab. I can be at the. I'm
So,
here.
okay. So, Calixto and Tarlin, as you walk in, you see Jesse has already made his way to the brass crab. Easy peasy. You see quite a few people in this area. It's bustling. There are some people sitting at a table playing cards. You can see a young, sort of handsome man who looks a little annoyed, wearing full plate armor. It's not Solamnic armor, but it's full plate armor. He's hanging out at a table with a sort of rangery looking dude. He's got a quill in his hat, and it definitely has like he has a good style about him. Like you can tell he's certainly thought about his outfit. Everything matches. There's no dirt on it. There's no mud. There's no blood. But he does have some arrows. He's playing cards with an older man wearing a big hat, and then just kind of like plucking very softly and sort of tuning this mandolin as a young elven woman.
Hmm.
You do also notice that there seems to be behind the handsome man a sort of guard of sorts, just kind of watching, hanging out, making sure nothing happens.
So the
And then
band's
other than
not
that, it's,
actually playing right now, right?
I mean, there is somebody who is kind of tuning a mandolin, but you don't see a performance.
Okay. Okay. Hmm. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is go get myself a room.
Okay, so you head over to whomever is at the reception. It's a pretty brief interaction. Jesse and Tarlin, what are you guys doing during this?
I'm gonna do the same thing. I want to make sure we have rooms.
Okay, so Tarlin, you also head over there with Calixto. Jesse, what are you up to?
Well, maybe I'm curious about who this handsome fellow with no dirt on him and the guards is. Can I roll insight to see if I recognize him, or whatever the fuck you're supposed to do?
You can certainly approach them. If you want to draw some
There
sort
you
of
go. I
conclusion
can
based
just ask
there,
him.
you want to approach them.
Sure.
Okay. What would you like to say to this group of people at a table?
What are I don't know. Fuck. What are the what's going on? What's going on here? What are we up to? Is this your bar?
The handsome man rolls his eyes and kind of scoffs. They all ignore you. Do you see there's a man behind the handsome man wearing this sort of cowl. He's wearing lighter armor than the handsome man in the plate armor. And he kind of like tenses up a little bit. But they don't say anything. Would you like to say something else?
Yeah, to the tents, man. What's your story?
To which one? The tense man?
The first, the tents, man.
Hey, man. Untamed Siren gets this all the time. Look, they're paying me to make sure you guys don't mess with them. And they're just tired of it, man. They've been getting this since the moment they showed up. I mean, it's Untamed Siren. So, you know, don't make a fool of yourselves, you know? But what does Jesse do in response?
Okay, time out. Is are we saying that I'm speaking to a musical act that's named Untamed Siren?
You're speaking to a tense man who has told you that he is basically the bodyguard of Untamed Siren. Untamed Siren is
Yeah.
not responding to
Okay.
you. But certainly you could try to elicit a reaction from any of them.
Okay.
Would you like to try to elicit a reaction from anyone? Or would you like to engage more with the tense bodyguard?
I think
What is Jesse feeling in response to this? Like, oh, this is Untamed Siren. Like maybe you've heard of them, maybe you haven't. Would you like to roll to know if you've heard Untamed Siren before, that specific name?
more. Yeah, have I heard of them more specifically? Do I like them?
Do you need me to roll for you?
Is this and I let's see. Let me see. I can probably
I can
do it.
roll for you.
Do. Here, watch this. What am I rolling?
Let's say
Oh, I didn't hear that.
you. We'll say. Do you want to have known of Untamed Siren before? Do you want it to be a mystery, or do you think that Jesse would have probably heard about this band that people have heard of?
As far as I know, this is just some dickhead at a bar to me.
Okay, and that's what it is. So you don't give a fuck about Untamed Siren. These guys are kind of being dicks, and there's this bodyguard who's just kind of like, yeah, man, don't do that. There is no green room at this particular inn, so they're just kind of like hanging out. Um, they are making themselves seen, and that stands out to you too. It's like, well, if you guys want to be like private dickheads, like you could just go to your room. Why do you have to like parade yourself around? So Jesse's feeling all these things. It's like, fuck these guys. And would you like to do something with that?
Well, I have a question to the
Sure.
side. Do I assume that do I have any magic?
You
Or is
don't
this
have any
completely
magic per se.
okay? Okay.
You're a level 3 rogue, but not an arcane trickster.
I just
So
yeah.
you certainly have your own caveats and your own things. Magic is not one. But you're a charming guy.
That's
There's
pretty good.
magic all around you. You just have to look.
Yeah, all right. Wait, so if these guys are sitting here, is there any entertainment going on right now?
0.
Zero. It's just a
We,
bar full of people sitting there
everyone in the bar is
quietly.
like, well, I mean, like, certainly people are talking. There's no actual music. The one band that can provide that untamed siren chooses to sit there and play cards when they could be entertaining this entire bar. And they're just kind of like haughty and
Okay.
ignoring people. And perhaps it occurs to Jesse that maybe with the right nudge, maybe they could turn that frown upside down and make this place just bumping. But they choose to hold on to their gifts and keep it from the world. They're
Okay,
going to
I'm
use
still
it.
back to do I have I is this I'm still it's germane to me whether this is some known quantity or whether whether I like them or not, whether this is you know,
If you could say
a,
something to
a group
Untamed
of people who
Siren,
has
if you could say something to Untamed Siren in this moment, what would it be? You don't have to say anything, but if you chose to,
is Untamed Simon just the one guy or is there a whole group there? That's the question.
it's 4 people sitting around a table. And then there's this
Okay.
guy who has basically explained that he is the bodyguard of Untamed Siren. And he's like, don't make a fool of yourself. Clearly, this has probably happened several times already. Um, these people haven't even acknowledged you. They're just sitting there playing their cards, rolling their eyes in their own little world.
All right. So are you guys in like a band or something? You look like you're in a band.
So the handsome man kind of like, just kind of uggs. Not again. And then the elf to your right, she kind of says, "It's okay. It's okay. Who? How are you? Who are you? I'm Tarina, as you know. How are you?" Meanwhile, the other 2 gentlemen in the center, the guy with the cool style and the older man, are still playing cards.
I'm good. Good as ever. Is this your band?
Well, yeah, we're Untamed Siren. You've heard of us, right?
No. I mean, is this your band or is this that guy's band?
We're all even, says the handsome man. We're all even.
To the lady, is that true? Is that how you see it?
Well, yeah.
From the butter.
Yeah. I mean, we all have our roles. We all do our part. We wouldn't be a band without each other. Then I would just be a solo act, and maybe it wouldn't be as good if I were. But yeah, I mean, yeah. We're even, and you can see the handsome man rolls his eyes a little more.
Have you guys already played, or are we gonna get to watch a jam?
Well, I mean, we weren't planning on anything today. We're gonna play the funeral. We're playing the Kingfisher Festival. I mean, my hands get so tired, and I don't think we should really indulge that.
Is this your night off?
Well, we've been on tour for a while. Like we're on Team Siren. Like everyone wants to hear us play, and it's just exhausting. And then the handsome man does say, like, yeah, like everyone wants our autograph. Everyone wants to talk to us. Everyone wants us to play. Really demanding. Like it's a tough life. Like, I mean, what if every single person
Okay, but
asked us to play all the time?
right, but did you guys get paid to play here tonight? Did I already miss it? Or are you going to play now? Or are you just kicking off?
Roll persuasion.
What the fuck are you guys doing?
I see.
Oh my god.
Love it.
Okay. So
What just happened? Did I roll persuasion? I did.
you did.
Okay,
You
good.
did great.
Sorry, my app is slow.
You did a great job. So
Yeah, I did it.
so Tarina, the elven woman who is sitting next to you says, I guess it wouldn't hurt if we just like what if we did like a song and then we just got it out of everyone's system. And the handsome man kind of rolls his eyes, but then the older man kind of looks at him. He hasn't been engaged this whole time. And he says, well, I have told you that our fans are everything. And the handsome man's like, yeah, I know. And then Tarina says, we'll give you one song. And then you have to tell everyone that we've already
Right.
played and that we're not going to do it again. And I don't want to do a second song. Here I am once again indulging somebody, but we'll play one song for you guys.
Secret show, guys! Secret
Secret
show. No.
Do you say anything in response to that? Or are you like, thank you, or like we deserve this? Or you just stand there at all? Or do you stand there like, well, let's see how this fucking goes. Like, let's see if you guys are good. Yeah. What does Jesse do in response to that? This band reluctantly decided that they would play a song for the bar and just get it out of everyone's system so they can say they did it. The older man is like, well, yeah, our fans are everything, and you can tell like he's been shushed once or twice. The handsome man is kind of like, oh god. And then the other guy who hasn't really done anything just whips out his own little flute, and he's like, I mean, we may as well, right? If nothing else, it's practice. Do you say anything in response?
Yeah, I'm very appreciative. Yeah, I thank you for taking it upon yourself. I'm looking forward to watching you do your work.
Okay. And then so Tarlin and Callisto, as you are paying for your room, you can hear like a little warm-up routine. It's like me, 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 me. You can hear they're all like kind of strumming. So out of nowhere, there's this music. And Untamed Siren who is always under this pressure to perform and be on their game, and everyone loves them, and they're these reluctant celebrities. They're just like, yeah, I guess, fuck it, it's fine. Like, we'll play one song. You do hear them kind of warming up, and then they start to perform.
Why do I feel like I know that song?
This sounds like Hotel California. Just a little bit.
A little bit, you're
No,
right.
it's Taylor Swift.
Oh my god, it is.
Is it?
It's Taylor Swift.
It is.
Yes.
It's freaking Taylor Swift.
And as this is happening, Untamed Siren, who never does this for anyone, they are playing a secret show. And they're like, strummed around, and everyone's like, are they going to do it? Is this real? And the whole crowd is like enamored, and everyone's like, yeah! And they're just like throwing coins, drunk as shit, in the brass crowd at Untamed Siren, who Jesse talked them into fucking playing.
That's kind of catchy.
Crowd's going nuts.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Do we see Lady Lord Dreckle? Can't even remember anymore.
So you, Calixto, as you walked into this inn, you're not only looking around for a room, but you're also looking for somebody in Solamnic armor, a female. And you have not seen this person so far.
Okay. Okay. If there's a place, what are the chances in a city like Volgan that there would be like a Solamnic like outpost or barracks that I can go to?
Zero, actually.
Oh, okay.
Zero.
Okay, then yeah, never mind. I'll just buy my room. Enjoy the show.
Yeah, it has to vouch for you that while a Solamnic knight was referenced, aka Lord Becklin Uthmatar, who has written that she is a knight in her letter to you about Isman Greenshield's untimely end. You don't see anyone else of Solamnic nature. Like even the guards are just wearing like normal armor. Nobody else has stood out as a knight.
Okay.
And even Garrett is just a squire. So nobody is of the knighthood that you can see.
Okay. Nothing really here in this place for me then.
That would be correct. But you have booked a room. Tarlin, you have also booked roomage. I would assume perhaps, maybe you haven't, but I would assume maybe you've also booked for your comrades as well.
Yes, I did. I made sure that the others would have lodging as well.
In the immortal words of James Hammonds. Good man. Okay, so you've booked your rooms, even for Jesse, who has elicited a performance from Untamed Siren against their will. And then Jesse, the guard, says, "You haven't done this before. That's good on you."
Mm-mm.
And then as they finish their song, the crowd dies down, and they're like, "Oh, wait, is that it?" They're like, "More, more, more." And then they rise back up, and then the handsome man rolls his eyes, and they just go back to doing their thing, and he's like, This is why we never do this. It never ends. And then Tarina looks over at you, Jesse, and says, "Okay, we've done it. We gave you guys what you wanted. I guess come see us perform at the funeral. It's gonna be a great show, I promise. And then yeah, we're playing again later on. So yeah, just come hang out with us then. But could you give us our space now? And then Jesse, do you abide by that or do you not abide by
Last
that?
thing you said.
She asked you to give them space.
Oh yeah, yeah. To have all the space. Yeah, great. I'll come see you at the funeral. I very much appreciate your being obliged, and yeah, salute. I'm gonna go crash in my homie's hotel room.
And they kind of do their thing. Okay. So you guys have booked a room at the Brass Crab. You've met Untamed Siren. Aethelflid, you have been hanging out with the blacksmith. His name is Alberto. I feel like that would have come up in conversation as you guys are just kind of like sharing blueprints and kind of bonding over blacksmithing. Would there be anything in particular you guys would want to do?
Yes.
Okay. What would that be?
I would like to do a perimeter check and scope out the entrances of the city and where the city's defenses are.
Okay. So we will say that you are exploring the city and just kind of taking note, a little bit of inventory on the defenses and what they have going on. Charlin, what are you doing in the meantime?
I'm gonna go talk to the Lord and report about the dead knights that we found.
You're going to try to find Lord Becklin?
Yes.
Okay. And then Aethelflid, are you still hanging out with the blacksmith at this point, or would you like to do something else?
Probably yeah, not gonna hang out with him all day. I was gonna stay long enough to teach him some stuff, yeah, and do some trades.
Sure.
Probably gonna go locate like if there is like a trade post or like a mine or like with the craftsman guild, just the places where I would need to go to like get supplies and shit like that.
Okay. So that would probably put you in the market. And then Jesse, what are you up to right now?
Let's see. Let's see. Is hold on. I guess I'm going cruising around the city to see what the defenses are like.
Okay, so do you join Calixto? Is that
I'm gonna
well
join
known?
Calixto. Yeah.
Or... Okay, so Calixto, as you're trying to survey, do you guys share this information? Like, let's see how defended this place is because we just got through an attack, or do you share exactly what you guys are up to? Is it more like a Jesse's just kind of clinging to Calixto thing, or
Yeah, I
how is
kind
that
of
working?
like the flavor that Calixto kind of slips off, and maybe
Okay,
Jesse notices.
and then Jesse, as you see Calixto kind of vominos, do you vominos as well right after?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I'm slipping out the back.
Okay. So, what is that interaction like? Calixto, as you've gone to survey this city and kind of take in the defenses, understand what makes it work and what makes it tick, you haven't seen a Salamic presence here, although you're aware that there is one Salamic knight. There are guards that are drinking on the job, aren't necessarily up to snuff, and this is during a big festival when there are a lot of people that are here. Um, what would you say to Jesse as Jesse approaches you?
I suppose I'll be like, "Oh, I didn't see you there. How long have you been following me?"
I was just checking to see what you were up to.
Oh, just passing an eye over this poorly defended city. I think if the person at the front gate was any example, the guardsmen here are likely not up to snuff.
That seems reasonable to me. Have you noticed how many gates there are in total?
That depends on how long we've been walking before I noticed you following me. I guess,
Maybe the better question is: Are you familiar with this city in the first place?
and I say, well, I've come a couple of times to visit my friend Greenshield, but I can't claim to be terribly familiar.
And quick time out to answer your question. You do have a pretty reasonable passive perception, but he has expertise in sneak. So let's just say he just creeps up on you after a couple of minutes.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, I haven't had a chance to get a good look at everything yet, but I suspect I suspect there are more than a few security issues around here. And I say,
Do you have any thoughts on? Go ahead.
no, go on.
Oh, do you have any thoughts on who might be headed here, and what uh, if there are any specific threats on the rise? Is this a town, from your knowledge, that, or is this an event, I should say, from your knowledge, that might attract attention?
That I couldn't say. But those things on the road, I've never seen anything like them. It makes me feel nervous, especially after seeing that night that we saw. What do you think?
It is an odd situation.
It is an odd situation. We have rather strange companions, wouldn't you say?
No, none of us any less strange than the next, as far as I can see.
Perhaps not. And I sort of look sideways at Jesse and I say, I've had a good deal of experience um, in my nightly training, and I was relatively quick to act when we found ourselves attacked. But no one, not even me, was faster to respond to that situation than yourself. And I sort of eyeball Jesse and I say, I suspect you've got more experience under your belt than you're letting on.
Mm.
For someone who makes it up as they go.
Well, I'm not claiming to be a neophyte per se. And my skills have gotten me this far, but the reality is, I I'm making it up as much as the next guy is.
So if that's the case, would you be willing to put it up to a friendly wager?
Depends on the wager, and it depends on how friendly. What do you have in mind?
I point to a small target, relatively you know what? We'll say like 20 feet away, and I'll say, I'll bet you 10 gold. You can't hit that flower over there better than I can. And it's like a distant flower, like sitting against a tree or something.
Mm-hmm. Well, what are we hitting it with, and what counts as better is my question.
Do you have a dagger on you?
I believe I do.
Okay. I will draw from my person a long iron needle, and I will hurl it by hand towards the flower.
Roll to hit. Pretty good. Okay. So, Jesse, what
Yes,
you
sir.
see is Calixto pulls out this needle, hurls it at this flower, and it sticks it right in the center of that flower. We'll say it's maybe a sunflower. There's a little sunflower that's kind of jutting up, and he hits it right dead center. So if you could roll to hit, that would be fantastic.
What am I rolling?
So you could roll a short sword attack, and it should be the same to hits. It sounds right.
Mm-hmm.
As a question, just to the side, and I apologize for the idiocy of it.
No, you're good.
There's I have, I don't even know. I haven't looked at my inventory, but I keep a bow, I keep a short sword, and I keep a dagger.
Yeah, we'll say.
Or I keep. Say again.
Yeah, we'll say maybe you didn't have a dagger when you first walked into the city by yourself as a kinder. You're like, yeah, I clearly have a dagger, and you just kind of like reach around in your pouch and you pull one out. So we'll say that you have it.
I like that. Much appreciative.
Also, you're a rogue, so I'm pretty sure it's already on your character sheet. And I'm looking right at it. So yes, we'll say as flavor, you walked into the city without a dagger, but now you have one. Just
all right.
You found it in your pouch.
I figured I had a dagger.
And see, that was both IRL and also Jesse's. Like, yeah, I'm gonna have a dagger. And then sure enough, one materializes from your pouch, and you're like,
I must have one here somewhere.
Beautiful. Would you like me to roll that for you? If you open your character sheet and you see dagger, it's kind of in the middle, sort of underneath your face. You can just click that, and that will roll that attack for you.
Let me see. Oh, let's see. Okay, hold on. Am I rolling? Are we in? Oh, I see. I got it.
And I will also say you have something called the lucky feat. So if you roll this, that was a 7. So we can say that you burn 1 luck point, and perhaps you would have fumbled this and totally whiffed. But you are inspired by all the things that have been happening around you, and you could roll that again if you'd like.
Is it just a straight roll for higher or lower, or does it compound?
I would say it's higher or lower in this case.
7 seems like a pretty decent roll. However,
7 is definitely less than 20.
Oh, it's a 7 out of 20.
Yeah, he rolled a 20, and you rolled a 7. So you could burn a luck point.
Yeah.
And you can roll it again.
Yeah. No. I was thinking 7 out of 10. Yes, I will roll. I will burn a luck point to re-roll that.
Please. Okay, so Jesse,
better.
While you do an admirable job, Calixto, with the precision of a laser, throws this this needle directly into the very center of this sunflower. And while you do a great job, you don't quite hit the center. You aim just a little bit to the right. And it's still what would have been perhaps a deadly blow if that were an enemy, but Calixto did win this.
Not a bad throw.
Well played on your own part. I can see who drew the most blood.
Actually, my friend, I believe that was you, if I recall. I believe you were the one who felled the red beast that we fought. And I sort of go withdraw the needle, and I'll toss him his dagger as well.
So while that is happening, Tosh, you are in a market area right now, looking for the tradesmen, the blue collar workers that are selling things, and that is currently where you are. You stumble upon somebody that does catch your eye, and it is a vendor of sorts. Let me find him. There we go. He is in a booth surrounded by oddities and things, and clearly the first thing that you notice about this vendor is that he does have the appearance of a cat. He's wearing armor and a dagger, and he looks very capable. You can see that he's wearing finer things, such as a ring on his paw. And he's selling a lot of weird stuff. Behind him is like a skull with green coming out of the eye sockets. There's some potions, a little chest with a big ornate lock on it.
She will definitely be intrigued by this, and kind of like mid-stride just stop and turn and look and be like, "Oi, what you selling, friend?"
Well, I've got all kinds of great things. I've got swords, and I've got potions, and I've got things that people want to buy. I think you are somebody that wants to buy some things.
Maybe, depending on. Let me take a browser here. You haven't seen any merchants or the like stop through here, have you? Mercenaries. That's what I meant by merchants.
Okay. Yeah, there's some merchants up north. They're kind of like northwest. But yeah, they look like really scary. I don't know if I like them.
They buy anything from you?
Well, yeah. I mean, I've got a hat that I sold somebody that tells you the future, and then I sold this other one. A gym that gives you more vitality in the bedroom. And then I sold this rapier to this guy that makes him more flexible when he stretches.
Mm-hmm. Alright, let's take a look.
Well, I've got this little bag right here. And let me tell you, you're gonna want to buy this. This is the dust of sneezing and choking. That's what I call it. Because guess what? It makes you sneeze, it makes you choke, and it's dust. And then I've got this, and he pulls out like a little vial with some red liquid in it. And he's like, I got this potion. You know what? It's gonna make you feel great when you drink it. It's gonna make you feel so happy and healthy. It's good for your joints. It's good for your bones. It's really good. And hey, let me tell you about this. And he pulls out a scroll. Do you like hands? I feel like you like hands. You got two of them. I bet you use them all the time. I got this scroll right here. It makes a really big hand. It's super strong, and I think you're gonna love it. Seems right up your alley.
She's like listening to him this entire time, and she unfortunately is not like, maybe not unfortunately. While all these trinkets are really cool, it's not something that deeply like appeals to her, and
Sure.
so she will probably just like again, I guess look for anything that looks like old or like cursed or like weird. But if there's nothing strange like that, then she'll probably just thank him and continue on her way.
Those are the main things he's trying to peddle.
Yeah. Well, good luck, mate. These look interesting and all. I'll be back. And then she'll walk off.
But wait, don't you love sneezing in hands? As you walk away. So then, Tarlin, you are walking through the city trying to find somebody in Solamnic armor.
Yes, sir.
And you've been kind of walking around the city a little bit. There are streamers up in honor of the festival, and in the horizon you can see this weird structure that definitely has something that kind of looks like a catapult, but isn't quite a catapult. And then, as you're walking around, attentively looking for somebody in Solamnic armor, you do actually see somebody in Solamnic armor. It's an older woman. She is wearing very ornate armor. She has a shield with her and a sword.
Okay.
What do you do?
Let's see. I approach very quickly. Or I guess not quickly. Walk up and just. Are you the lord of this town, Lord Becklin?
Oh, well, Lord, I don't know about Lord, but I'm definitely like the hero of this place.
Well, I come bearing terrible news, and I tell Becklin about the dead knights we had found on the road and the dragon creatures, or I guess not dragon creatures, but scaled winged creatures that we had seen that had slain them and attacked my companion that was also a knight.
So she hears this, and she goes from very, kind of bombastic to very somber. Tell me more. Tell me everything. I want to know all about it. And you're feeding all these facts. She's very engaged, and she looks very distraught. And she just kind of stares off in the distance. I told them this would happen.
You mentioned that we had brought them back to brought their bodies back to town to be properly buried.
Thank you.
Or yeah, of course.
Thank you. Um, this is a very dark time, and it's bad enough that I've lost my friend, and it's bad enough that we have this festival that we have to be happy for. And, well, thank you for bringing these bodies back, but I've been telling them for a long time that we need to bolster our defenses. The only reason I allow this contraption in the keep is because it looks like it's a catapult. It's not a catapult. It's just some gnome invention for travel. But my thought is if somebody sees it, maybe they'll think it's a catapult and maybe they'll turn away. I've been telling these people for a long time they need to be more careful. And here we are.
Um. Oh my God. Let's see. I'm sorry, my daughter. I'm sure you can hear Kaylee yelling about chocolate.
Delicious. There's anything to yell about it. I mean, I ate peanut M&Ms today. Chocolate's delicious.
Man, God, I miss peanut things so much, dude. Because I
Fair.
didn't used to be allergic, man, and now I am, and it sucks. Sad, man. I miss Reese's a
So
lot.
channel that sadness. Think about you not being able to eat peanuts. And
Yeah.
that is the sadness that you see on the face of Becklin as she's thinking about, like, cool, we're all fucked. I'm burying my friend. There are these creepy dragon creatures. There are these rumors of war. There's this stupid gnome contraption. And she's been trying to preach to these people for a long time that they need to take their defenses more seriously. And she just kind of like slams her fist into a wall. And she's like, God damn it. Are you sure?
Absolutely sure.
What do you think we should do?
Prepare for the worst. These creatures, and I made sure make sure to emphasize the symbol on the creature's armor. That symbol, the Takesis symbol.
Jesus.
Wait. What did you produced it? Because I have
Well,
that.
no, I mentioned it. I mentioned it
Ah, I got you.
too. Yeah.
The last thing I need is to keys. Like, it's too late. I can't stop this festival. And I have to bury my friend. But it's okay. I think this town might be okay. My friend Cudgel, she leads this band of mercenaries up north/west. And I would feel remiss if I didn't lend my aid to these people. And I know she would feel remiss if she didn't either. She was also a really good friend of Ispin.
We my fellows and I will be staying here in town for the length of the festival. If we can render aid in any way, we shall be here.
Did you know him? Did you know Ispin?
Um, I did not know him personally. I've heard many tales of him.
Yeah, most people have. There was a time where I looked up to him. There was a time where I resented him for being better. But man, as I got older, I realized I was just happy to be in his universe, to be near him. That was my best friend. That was my comrade. And Cudgel feels the same way. And I don't care how many scaly, weird things pop through that gate. We'll take that weird little gnome thing and we'll throw the world at it. I'll throw myself at it. I want these people to have fun, and I will bury my friend, and we will keep moving forward, just like Ispin would have wanted.
Yes.
Tylen nods a bit and says, there's again, just I'm glad we could be of assistance," and just kind of retreats a bit and
I know
feels awkward
funerals.
now, but
I know funerals are not fun. I would love for you to attend his funeral.
I believe several of my companions already plan to attend, so I will accompany with them. I appreciate the invitation.
I was kind of hoping you'd be like, fucking love funerals, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you're speaking my love language right now.
I
Funerals.
know, right? Like,
She kind of like clasps your hand. She's feeling a lot of things right now, and you can tell that she's like going through this like grieving process. She's also been told that there's a huge monstrous danger outside of the city. She's been preaching this for a long time, that there could be dangers out there. And these people, they don't track it, you know, like to them, it's just the world is easy and safe. But she, as an adventurer and as a knight of Solamnia, has seen a lot of stuff. And she knows the dangers that lurk outside the walls. She is clearly very appreciative of what you have said. And then she says, I need to be alone right now. And then she just kind of starts walking away to think. That might be a good stopping point.
yes.
How do you guys feel?
That's good. We've had a
Yeah.
good session tonight.
Yeah, that was a good session. Lots of RP.
Lots of RP.
Mhm.
You never got to ask me all those questions, Hunter. We'll have to do that next time.
Yeah, I asked like some of them, but that's good.
Yeah.
We had great RP this session.
Hmm.
Party that showed you a leaf. Calixto, you certainly didn't con anyone, but you made use of this need to have this acorn. You accurately described it, but you certainly utilized that description to get a reaction out of this Kinder that you knew would, of course, be there. Where it's like, yeah, I need that. I need that in my collection. It's better than any acorn I got. And you were able to get a potion of healing out of it. Aethelflid and Tarlin, because you were able to deduce that it was a potion of healing, it is known that it is a potion of healing. This Kinder was on the up and up. Aethelflid, you walked up to this blacksmith. You all bonded, became very instant friends, commended each other's work, and kind of compared notes. And you are discussing, after your steel defender did a backflip, exactly what went into creating that thing. You guys made your way to the Brass Crab, and while Calixto and Tarlin were in that inn booking a room, Jesse, you met the Untamed Siren and convinced them to play a song, despite the fact that they certainly super didn't want to. You were still able to convince them that they should, and then they played Taylor Swift. From there, excuse me. From there, Calixto and Jesse, you guys did your little contest of skill. Calixto, you took your needle, threw it into a flower dead center, and while Jesse, you got very close, Calixto did outplay you ever so slightly. And then Aethelflip, you met this vendor who is essentially a cat. He told you the items that he had. That was the dust of sneezing and choking, a potion of healing, and a scroll that apparently gives you a giant hand. You were not sold on any of those items, and you kind of bolted. And then Tarlin, you met Becklin. You told Becklin that there is a serious threat outside the walls. Becklin implored you to go to the funeral, and we had a lot of really good RP. I think we're all looking for our purple leaf in life. I know I am.
Wise words. Wise words.
Yeah, good sesh, guys.
Good sesh, y'all.